Okay, what should we call this one?
It was Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot?
Don't get stuck in the 12th dimension or... Okay, you guys, today's the day. It is the Kendra. It is the afflicted. It is it is the Dickensian knowing Kendra. It is Jenna's best friend since
1996.
1996.
That's like 30 years.
Oh,
wait.
My God.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is almost fucking wild.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we'll have to take an anniversary trip because we did take a trip for our 10-year anniversary. We missed our 20th.
You guys need to.
I think we did.
I think
we did do something for our 20th anniversary because we celebrate it like it's a marriage.
Didn't you bikini kill it? Was that?
That was like 25.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I think that was 25.
That is so crazy.
I'm fighting like it's our...
So now, oh my God, is this happening? I'm like, mommy, daddy. So it's just a big deal, you guys. She's in the house and she's here in the flesh, and hopefully she keeps coming.
Because we're so fun.
We were really fun.
I mean, come on.
That made me cry because I was laughing.
Oh, I thought it was because I was so sweet. Meanwhile, I'm the one saying
It's not even...
I told you. I am so full of colonoscopy liquid. I might...
Oh my God. You know what's so funny? And this is actually very fitting. So you know how sometimes people will send you like memes or whatever on the Instagrams and it's like, you know, like in your inbox.
Yes.
And then I like clicked on one and I was like, oh, Jenna sent me something, you know, whatever. And it was this like beautiful, like it was like, you know, when you just meet somebody and then, you know, they're meant to be in your lives and then they show you parts of themselves that like you never thought you would see and they just have enriched your life in such a way. And I'm like, is this bitch in her feels? Because this is so not It wasn't from you. It was the best though because I was like, is she having a moment? Is she opening up? What is happening? And I'm like watching this like thing thinking it's from you the whole time. What? It wasn't. No, it wasn't. But it was funny because it was like confusing. It was making me feel feelings.
Maybe if it was like funny.
Yeah, no,
there would have to
exactly.
be a twist.
Yeah.
Something.
There had to be
And
some sort of twist.
Right. And then they died. And then
Yeah, that's not even coming up in my algorithm.
Oh my God.
It's not like coming up in my For You.
It literally happened last night. Well, I guess this morning in like the wee hours because I couldn't sleep. So I naturally grabbed my phone. And then I was like, literally, I was like, wow, like this is so sweet. What is she? I was like, no. I go back out of it after watching it.
I mean, I'm flattered that you thought that I was in my feels.
The whole time I was watching it, I was very confused. Because I'm like, this doesn't sound like her. And I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was a great day at Disney. Nothing made sense. And then when I got out of it, I was like, it wasn't.
I know. Kendra might get the most, like, feels ones because it'll be like, you and me when we're old, and it's like old witches.
Yeah.
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 Or we'll like haunt people together.
Yeah. That was one of the things.
Oh, that's really sweet.
That's the sweetest we get.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
And
It's
our
dark.
husbands
It's
get
death.
jealous because we would rather go on trips with each other.
I mean,
Oh,
yes,
I also
agree.
spent her anniversary with her.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah, we went to Dashboard.
Yeah.
Oh my
but
God.
Alex invited everybody.
Yeah, he
so
did
it
invite
wasn't,
everyone.
and
It
it was
was
a surprise
okay.
to me. I thought I was spending my anniversary with just my husband and Chris Caraba,
Oh.
but he invited like 10 friends.
Aww. There you go.
And then he got stuck with Faye.
Yeah.
Faye on the ground.
He was on kid duty.
Yeah, he was
Faye
on kid
on the
duty.
ground, just misery.
No, he was gladly sparring with her.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I don't know.
How are we feel? Wait, what is this episode? Is it gonna be a?
Okay,
Is it a thing?
So I was having originally we were gonna redo Krishnaventa, but you had already heard of it. I already told you in the car when we were going to Blink, I think. And so then I was like, okay, I can do this other one, but it was just like shitty guy on shitty guy on shitty guy and like sexual assault on sexual assault. So I was like, maybe tonight's not the night.
Yeah.
This isn't good, but it's not sexual assault, dirty guy. It's an unsolved mystery.
Ooh, I love that.
A little meat left on the bone.
I know.
Okay, we can
But
fuck
I'll
around.
straight up, it's unsolved. So
Is it?
don't forget. Have you ever watched Unsolved Mysteries?
And then you're like,
And then you're like, damn it. And you're like, oh, that's the name of the show.
Yeah, you're
They
like,
tell you up front.
nothing.
And you're like, you're not going to tell me how it ends.
Like
and
you
you're
need
pissed?
to know going into it. You'll never be satisfied. Sorry. Oh,
Wait,
did I freak out?
Hamilton's gonna be here for your birthday. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe we should,
You're such a liar. You don't want to go.
No, I will, but every time we tried to get Hamilton tickets, it was like COVID.
Oh.
And then COVID again.
We have purchased Hamilton tickets
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. One year it was for Christmas, and then it got postponed, and then it got canceled again because of COVID. That was.
Oh, like 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know when they were
2019,
like,
2020?
And then they were like, "Well, we'll give you first dibs on the next one." Boom, COVID again.
Yeah.
It was just so. Then
and
we
then
were
and then I bought tickets for Beetlejuice, and
Oh.
then the Hurricane Sandy came, and then they canceled it.
"Oh my god."
So I feel like I'm bad luck for live shows down here.
I mean,
Or live theater.
I do think that if I'm being honest, I'm so used to the regular.
Like how it sounds.
So the second that we get up there and Lin-Manuel Miranda is not there and Leslie Odom is nowhere to be found, and then this imposter in my eyes is singing.
Because almost every Hamilton is a better singer than Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because
So like, it's going to
Yeah.
be a better show.
the
'cause
Leslie
I
Odom
thought-
of it all. I mean,
You know what,
I don't want to pew pew on it before.
I wouldn't pew pew because
Okay.
I saw it before I saw the recording, the performance like on Disney. And I was like a little bit disappointed because I was like, he's not that great a singer. Our Hamilton was like
I literally was like,
so good.
he could have picked anybody else
And he's like, no.
to do a
my
better
son.
job.
Yeah.
Like, I get like the rapping part of it, like he actually does a good job, but sometimes I'm just like are we gonna
Do you think that he's gonna listen to our podcast and then be like,
I'm so
"You know
sorry.
what? I'm gonna write a whole rap musical
Lin-Manuel
about how much I
Miranda.
hate these random mom
fucked
podcasts."
these spiritually fucked already?
You know he's doing the Warriors.
No.
Yeah, you know, like Warriors. Yeah,
Oh, okay, I'm down for that.
That's
I think
what
it'd
he's doing next.
Honestly, I feel like everything he touches like just turns into gold. So I'm excited. But yeah, I feel like he could have picked just anybody. Just anybody.
Yeah.
And they would have sounded way better. I feel like his voice, oh my god, I'm such an asshole. I'm gonna say it. Sorry guys. I feel like his voice is a little small. Like squeaky. Like
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Did you know though? I was just listening to, or I just saw something on Reels, and it was him saying that in My Shot when they do the whoa, that's the AOL dial-up tone.
Oh my god.
Well, he ripped it. Yeah, yeah, he ripped it from AOL.
But I don't remember AOL sounding like that. I mean, I believe it.
What, like a chorus of people going? No, it's the octave.
Oh.
Okay, is that?
Wait, one more time. Yeah, that was good.
I feel like that's about right.
Yeah.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Jess.
I'm Kendra.
We finally got her.
Yeah.
We are sitting here on election night doing this because this was better than watching.
Yeah.
I guess.
I have literally been under a rock today. I have purposefully not gone on the socials, purposefully not turned on the TV. I've just been listening to music and working because I need
had the
self-preservation.
Kornacki cam on.
Okay. Okay.
And honestly, it was a lot of close-ups of him just crunching numbers.
Oh my God.
Very
Wait,
hot.
there's a Kornacki cam?
Yes.
So he's
On
crunching
YouTube.
numbers right in this moment?
Yeah, and then he'll like cut to like do it like talking, and I'll be like, oh, he's talking. But it's mostly just like him just like stress jotting numbers. Let's do this because I only have so much more liquid in my Tommy told me not to mention it on the podcast.
What? Why?
But I'm drinking my colonoscopy solution out of I'm getting a colonoscopy tomorrow, and I'm drinking it out of a Madame Leota tiki glass.
It's the right thing to do.
A limited edition.
Wait, did you get it?
Kendra got it for me the other day.
Yeah, we went last weekend.
They were
when it was
sold out by the time I got there.
Oh my God.
So that's what I'm drinking.
You better bubble wrap that hoe.
No, she's gonna stay out. I think she's gonna be my regular.
Two hands at all times.
Yeah, I mean you can't one hand this.
No, you can't. No,
it's a bottom holder.
Yeah.
But I'm drinking my colonoscopy solution out of that.
I'm drinking,
and I feel like I'm gonna run out before I stop talking. Oh wait, I only have 30 seconds.
Okay, bottoms up, madam.
Hold on. Yeah, I should just.
I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger out of a can. Kendra?
I have a Fall Brewing Keep Abreast Check Yourself pink lager.
That is so fucking cool.
Isn't
that
it
it's
cute?
a pink
It has
lager.
like little black cats.
Yes. Is it like the actual liquid pink?
Yes. Yes, it is.
You know what? That's
What
a
makes
missed
it pink?
opportunity. They
I don't know, but it kind of
made
looks
the
like
can...
your fluid that you're drinking too.
Ooh.
So,
It's just like the complete opposite.
it's like
of
the same color.
colonoscopy.
Yeah.
So crystal light pink lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, there she goes.
I know. This timer's going to keep going off at like the worst
But you're
possible
done.
time. No, I still have a whole other thing in there.
Oh.
Okay. So, trigger warning for domestic violence and suicide. This is still not as bad, though, as the other ones.
Okay. I mean, I'll take bad. I just need anything but what's going on in the world today. I just need my mind off of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
I can handle it.
yeah.
So, you know what's also really funny is that this lady, her name is Marcia Moore, and it's spelled, Marcia is Marcia.
Like your
Marcia.
neighbor.
No. So remember?
Your neighbor with the tree!
Yeah, Marcia?
Oh. I thought it was Marcia.
No, so Tommy, he was like, hey, we got this card in the mail from our neighbor, Marcia. And I was like, you mean Marcia?
Oh my gosh.
That's why I thought her name was Marcia.
Yeah, because Tommy, and I was like, I made such a big deal about it. I was like, oh my God, no one's named, like, that's just how you spell Marcia. No one goes by Marcia. And I stand corrected.
That's my grandma's neighbor's name, is Marcia.
Spelled that way?
Yes.
You know what? You better go ask your neighbor.
You know?
We better knock on her door.
No, she's left me a message before and said it was Marcia.
Like a voicemail?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, not as exciting as... So. All right. But
Not as exciting. But
No.
yeah. So that's just
But this
me.
is a real Marcia.
This is a real Marcia. Or, yeah.
Not to be...
Not to be confused with Marcia. Her name's
You
not
know,
Marcia.
sometimes we need those phonetic, like...
Yes, where it spells it out for you.
It actually did spell it out phonetically because everyone was like, it looks like Marcia.
Yeah.
But it's Marcia.
Oh, okay.
Marcia.
Marcia. U-H.
Okay. Now I'm phlegmy from saying Marcia. I don't know. Anyway. Marcia Moore was born May 22nd, 1928 in Cambridge, Massachusetts to Eleanor Turner Moore and Robert L. Moore, who was a successful businessman. Fun fact, this is how he got rich. He went to Harvard, and then after he got out of school, he didn't, not because of Harvard, or I don't know, maybe it's the people he knows at Harvard. So after he gets out of school, him and his roommate started a small business as flippers. So they would like buy a cheap business and then reinvigorate it and then sell the business. And so in 1934, so Marcia is 6, they bought a small hotel and they paid only the back taxes owed to the city. So it was a steal. And they had this big red sign out in front, and they liked it, so they kept it. And it is the Sheraton. And so the hotel was so successful that they didn't sell it until 1968 for $200 million.
Are you fucking
Whoa.
serious?
Yeah, so he started Sheraton.
Did you know that Aldrich and I had our wedding, like our reception at the Sheraton?
Oh.
I know.
Where?
Harbor Island.
Oh, that's nice.
I would have done that differently. No.
Someone was just talking about the view from there the other day.
Oh yeah, it's
Like
beautiful.
how it has a really nice sunset.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but so
I can't remember. I think I've been to Harbor Island.
It's like right by the airport.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally you could throw. You can't really.
I think
throw
it's it was a Marriott. It was a Sheraton, then a Marriott. Now it's a Hilton, I think.
Wow.
It keeps changing hands. I think. I don't know. Anyway,
But go on.
so, and because I like a conversion,
Ooh.
$200 million in 1968 is 1.8 billion.
Billion.
Whoa.
That is fucking crazy.
Isn't that crazy to have like that amount of wealth?
Yeah.
Yes,
billion?
Yes, it is.
And all you did
Billion.
was steal. Okay, I have fucking beef with people who do this because that was somebody else's property and all you did was pay the back taxes and now it's yours.
Yeah.
I see people post about doing this all the time. I'm like, that's literally like the cheapest way to do it. Like, you're such an asshole. But all they did was pay the back taxes and now they're a billionaire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what they could do is like, never mind.
Start their own business.
We'll go say, hey, sorry, I stole your house by paying you by paying the back taxes. Here's $1 million.
What?
I
It's gonna
don't
be
know.
like, here's a casual million for.
I don't know. Well, when you have $1 billion, what's $1 million?
Well, I think that you don't get to be a billionaire by being generous.
No, you're a bad guy.
Wait, have
Usually.
you watched What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but I'm
new
not
season?
caught up.
Never
No.
mind. There's something that really relates to this.
Really?
Yes. It was in the episode last week, I think.
Does it agree
Oh,
with my
I mind.
sentiments? Or is it a tough shit type moment?
No, it's just funny about like a building that was like being rented for like way less than
Uh-huh.
they could rent it out for, like under market value.
Right.
And the company wants to come take it
Oh,
over.
Guillermo's new work.
Yes.
Guillermo.
Oh!
Yes. Guillermo's new work.
Anyway, pivot. Why'd I do that?
I don't know.
I think it was my Guillermo.
Guillermo
made me
pivot.
self-conscious. And I was like, oh, how do I come out from that? Okay, so Marcia's home life growing up was very extravagant, to say the least. They lived in a colonial mansion on a 2-acre estate in Concord, Massachusetts, with a full staff of servants. Oh, sorry. Full staff.
You're gonna get this.
I'm
You're gonna nail this.
glitching so hard. I've not had a drop of alcohol.
You have not.
Good
But I
Lord.
believe in you.
Okay, so they lived in this like huge ass mansion that had servants' quarters, and they had a full staff. So it was like
It's like Downton Abbey. It's like Downton
It was like a
Abbey.
Downton
Okay.
Abbey situation. They also had a Japanese garden, a grape arbor, and an apple orchard. And for some reason, in the article I read, it also included raspberry patch alongside like servants' quarters.
Raspberry patch.
Winery situation, raspberry patch.
Raspberry
Wow.
patch. A patch.
I mean, okay. There was, in her home life, there was a high emphasis on education and hard work, but they were also like work hard, rest hard people. So her dad bought a meditation retreat center in California where they'd often go and visit for some R&R. And Robert Moore dabbled in theosophy, which we'll cover in another episode. But it was founded by Helena Blavatsky, and that combined like a lot of the religions, and it was basically like you could meditate and like get your consciousness to like know God. So it was like Christianity, but like with other things kind of mixed in.
Wow.
So that's why, thus the meditation center. So Marcia was obsessed with with all these ideas that she got at the meditation center. And as she got older, she began to go on her own spiritual journey towards the metaphysical. And her parents were like, do as we say, not as we do.
Oh, okay.
They were like, no.
Yeah.
We don't like this. Because she started to get like obsessed with
They're like, ma'am, you're taking this a
occult
little too far.
And reincarnation specifically. She was like really into reincarnation.
they're like, what have we done?
I know. So Marcia grows up. She goes off to college. She goes to Radcliffe and very quickly realizes that she's miserable there. So she drops out and marries a struggling writer named Simon Roof in 1947. And they very quickly had 3 kids, Louisa, Christopher, and Jonathan.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, she's like, not like, he's a struggling writer, but they're like not poor.
I mean,
Right.
they're far from poor.
Yeah.
It was a come up for his ass.
For sure.
He was like, nailed it.
In
Let me impregnate her. Let me impregnate her 3 times.
Let me set that trap.
Let me keep this one solid.
So in 1955, Marcia and Roof up and moved their family to India, and they're like, oh, we're going on an extended vacation, but it was 2 years.
Oh,
A
that's
2-year vacation.
a fucking wild ass vacation. Okay.
Yeah. And so while in India, they learned about Hinduism. Marcia studied yoga and even got blessed by the Dalai Lama because, again, she's rich. So she got to do all the things.
All the things. Like, there's nothing too far. There's nothing too much.
Yeah. And when they moved back to the U.S., Marcia starts teaching yoga in her front yard and writing about spiritual practices. And it's not beyond me that she is like a white rich lady who just came back from India and is probably like namasteing
Yeah.
herself
Oh my God.
around the neighborhood.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So eventually she returns to Radcliffe to finish her degree, and her senior thesis was titled Astrology Today, a Socio-Psychological Survey. And she eventually graduated in 1960, which I didn't read her thesis, but if it's just a survey, and maybe a very in-depth survey, or I don't know. A lot seems a little, I was surprised she could get away with an astrology thing in Radcliffe in
Right.
1960.
Yeah, it could have been one of those money talks moments, and
Yeah.
she just didn't need to. It's like
Dad
buying your
donated a
way into
library.
college,
Yeah.
going to USC, and because your parents are rich and bought you in. And
Wait, what was that thing? Remember when parents were getting like
yeah,
or
Aunt Vicky
yeah, Wait,
from
is it
Full
Vicky?
House. Did I make that name up?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky!
Yes.
Oh my God, Aldrich will fucking throw up. Good thing he doesn't listen.
And Massimo, her husband.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know who her husband is?
No.
Massimo.
Like the clothing brand
Target.
Massimo.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was thinking like some weird like model guy, like, oh, my name is Massimo.
Because Massimo does sound.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
I thought it was a character.
It does sound like he's pranced across a few runways.
Probably in Massimo.
Like, Mugatu. What's that movie?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe, where it's like,
So, though they both had a shared love for what was then considered fringe topics, Marcia and Roof filed for divorce in 1962. Very quickly, Marcia marries Louis Acker, a 21-year-old,
Damn.
get it, Marcia?
12 years younger than her, student whom she met in an astrology circle.
Yeah.
And they were so into astrology that they double-checked their compatibility with their charts before they got married just to make sure it would work out.
Oh my God. They're like, only if.
I
They're
know.
like, fuck your dad's, like, blessing. Fuck everything else. We need to
But
make sure
let's
that
see
our
where your
stars.
Venus.
Yeah.
What house is your Venus
What's
in?
rising over there?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work out.
Oh.
So the marriage lasted 3 years, and during that time they would practice yoga together and then they would lecture on astrology. Weeks after her divorce from Acker in 1965, she married Mark Douglas.
I felt like this was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a hopeless romantic.
Yeah. She's got her head in clouds. She's just like going with like what feels right in the moment.
Yeah. Just going where the wind blows her.
Not really thinking ahead.
Just right into another guy.
But you know what, too? My guess is that because her parents were very much like, "Ooh, don't do that."
Yeah.
And like all these guys were like, "Yeah."
Oh, they're
moon,
telling her
stars."
all the things that
Yeah, that she's like, "Ooh, I'm getting
like,
all of this metaphysical shit that I wanted."
This is my dream come true, and is like falling deep, deep, deep in love with everybody who's telling her what she wants to hear.
Correct. So she marries this guy, Mark Douglas. He's basically a grifter who'd been jailed for failure to pay child support, which is like literally almost every funky guy out there. But she believed, Marcia was like, I believe that we met in a previous life, so I'm willing to like overlook the fact that you're kind of a piece of shit. Douglas played like he really believed, and I don't know, maybe he did. Maybe he was like, I really believe in you, and like you're a really good writer. You should like write these books. Maybe he did believe that. But he tells her, you're really great. You should write books. And to help her, and I say that in quotes, he starts a publishing company and then a health food store to sell things. Oh, I got to drink more of my liquid.
Drinking.
Pause. Are you going to down that whole thing?
No, I can't do the whole thing.
Okay.
So anyway, he helps her, air quotes, by starting a publishing company and a health food store to sell the things that she's made, her books, and products she believed in. And I say air quotes is because I think it's her money. That
It is her money.
Yeah. I think he starts at using her money.
What is it? He's called a grifter?
A grifter. He's
Like a transient.
He's like a con man. He's just kind of like goes where the wind
okay.
blows and like takes
Yeah.
what he can.
Yeah. So he's for sure using
Were you
her
thinking
money.
like a hobo again?
Yeah. Were you?
Oh
What
my
were you
God.
thinking?
No, I knew
A scamp?
God
like
damn.
A tramp.
A tramp.
A tramp.
Oh God, I'm amongst people who speak the same language. Okay, no. So I literally was like, oh, he's like a hobo. Like he just came out of nowhere and like has like can woo her and you know whatever, but like is poor. Like
No, he's like, like Dirty John.
yes, okay,
Dirty John.
yeah,
vibes.
he's a dirty John.
He's a Dirty John. So together they publish a bunch of books. With her money. One is Reincarnation, the Key to Immortality. Another one is Diet, Sex, and Yoga. And another one is Astrology and Action. So they're like kind of all over the place in the, I don't know even what to, like in the counterculture, I guess. Because these are still like early 70s. So, or like 60s even. So it's not even like it's counterculture. It's like pre-counterculture.
It's like hippies are just getting started.
Yeah, hippies are like just getting started. And like, yes. I was going to say they're not even hippies, but she is a hippie eventually, but this is pre-hippie.
Right.
She's evolving.
She's evolving slowly. So Douglas is a piece of shit, and he starts getting particularly controlling over their finances.
Okay,
meaning-
Douglas.
Which is at this point only income from her trust fund and stocks she held at Sheridan.
That is crazy.
So by the time she left him in 1966, after one domestic violence incident too many, he cashed out more than $120,000 of her stocks that she had taken over her house, the health food store, and an apartment they owned together. Together. Air quotes again.
Oh my God, con man he is.
I know.
And she couldn't
It's
find
probably
a
prime
lawyer
real estate. She probably was too like,
and her just take it. I have more.
maybe. I don't know. I'd be like earth scorchy.
I would fucking yes.
But she's
Burn it
far.
to the
Yes.
ground.
She's a far gentler soul, I think.
I'm like, you trying to pull a quick one on me?
So here she takes a break from being married for a little bit.
Oh, like what, a month?
A few years.
Oh,
Yeah,
good for her.
I know. And
Like everybody needs a good reset. Says the person who's
if you were
never
married, like
reset.
weeks between divorce and new marriage.
Forget it.
Wait, how old is she now?
Like
in her 40s?
Yeah, in her 40s.
Okay.
I mean,
And she's been married 3 times. And she's like 40s.
that's exhausting. That sounds just.
It does sound exhausting.
Ugh.
Because then you'd have to like start over,
Ugh.
shave your legs.
Date. Oh my God, do you want to see my leg
I
hairs?
was just gonna
Oh
say.
my
Oh my God, ready? You can freaking dreadlock. Oh my God, I'm ashy too. You can dreadlock these things though.
You couldn't dread them. You could maybe rub them into a knot though. A good rest.
They're
knot.
so long that they almost, like 2 more days, they'll feel soft.
Oh
You know?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's winter. Now's the time.
Yeah. You know.
But could you imagine having to like shave your legs and shit?
No. In your vagina?
Ugh.
Did people shave their vaginas back then? Probably not.
Probably not the hippie times.
Yeah, no.
She's probably had all the body hairs and loved it.
Yeah.
So here she takes a break. She kind of delves into publishing more books. Some of the titles were Hypersentience, Exploring Your Past Lifetimes as a Guide to Your Character and Destiny. And Astrology, the Divine Science, and Yoga, Science, and the Self. which I think yoga science in the self is like maybe her most popular. So break is over.
Oh.
And next she meets an anesthesiologist named Howard Altunian. And
At
she's
least he has a
like,
good job.
Yeah, I'm like, at least he sounds like self-driven. Oh,
no.
God.
well, Howard, like Marcia, is like really into meditation, like the metaphysical, the or subconscious. And so they get married and they get out of Dodge and they move to a little suburb outside of Seattle. And so like her, he's into the same shit, but unlike her, she doesn't do like any sort of drugs. It's like his job.
He's like, wait,
so he's
a
big
minute.
proponent.
Let me show you something.
Kind of fucking around.
Yes.
And
What does this drug do? How
yeah,
does this feel?
fucking around and finding out. So she trusts him because it's his job, and so they start to experiment with psychotropic drugs to aid in treating depression and PTSD. And the couple was inspired heavily by Timothy Leary, who was a Harvard psychologist who advocated for the use of LSD in therapeutic settings. And we're going to talk about him again in a couple weeks.
Ooh.
But he was kind of this like counterculture hero. And Allen Ginsberg, who, if you remember from the Hare Krishna's episode, Allen Ginsberg was also a big fan of Keith Hamm. But so he thinks that he was like he was like his biggest fanboy.
Really?
He also worked with a man named Richard Alpert, who is later known as Ram Dass, who is like really, really big in the yoga
that sounds
community.
really familiar.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about that in a couple weeks. But anyways, that's that connection.
Wow.
So at the time, microdosing ketamine or Special K.
Special K!
Like mom talk.
Like mom talk. Oh, is that something they do on... Oh, that's
On
what
the
they
Mormon
do.
Moms.
When they
That's
get
when they do their
injectables,
Isn't
right?
it like
No,
when
they were
they-
saying they did ketamine therapy. Two of them, Whitney and Demi, did ketamine therapy.
Yeah, they were like at that place, and they were like, they didn't say anything about this.
It was when they got it, like, their teeth
No,
done.
that was a laughing
Botox.
gas.
Oh.
But the ketamine was for like therapeutic reasons.
Oh.
So apparently that's allowed if you're Mormon.
Yeah, so it is a thing.
All
but
of that okay.
so back
That's a whole
then,
episode.
it was just like starting to like gain popularity
Right.
with the counterculture, especially those like wanting to unlock their or expand their consciousness.
Yeah. I remember Special K being around. I never bought it, never did it, couldn't afford it. It was scary. But it was around when I was in like high school.
Isn't that
I
the
only remember-
name of Seth Green's character in
In-
Can't Hardly Wait?
Yes,
Is
that's
it?
what I was gonna say. That's all I can think of.
That's all I can think about. That
was
stupid, that meme that keeps coming up with
Yes.
him being like, what I think about when kids say Riz, and he's like, are you an angel?
Oh my God. I think people would take that with something else. I don't remember though. I never did it. Never got into it.
My mom sent me,
Special K?
no, well, yeah. She sent, no, not that, but she sent me a meme of someone, I guess they had put like ketamine in her like cocktail of like colonoscopy drugs, and she was waking up from her colonoscopy, and my mom was like, this is really funny. And I was like, oh my God, I'm traumatized.
Oh my God, what are they going to
Jesus.
give you tomorrow? Special K.
Oh my God, I'll let you know if my
Please.
consciousness is expanded.
No, literally, Tommy won't share anything. I know he's going to protect you at all costs.
Good. That's why I married him. Okay. So, yes. So anyway, people are into Special K or ketamine. Ketamine / Special K.
Yes.
Because they want to like get high and like, I don't know, see the universe. And so this appealed to Marcia because she wanted to tap into her past lives because reincarnation was her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And through this work, she was able to discover, through taking all of this ketamine, that in her past life, she was Cleopatra.
She took
That
it
is
there.
a bold statement.
She took it there, did
There.
she? Okay.
You know what's really funny?
Mm.
Is that I have another case coming up where another lady also was like, I was Cleopatra in the last life.
Oh my God, is this the Winston Churchill
It's
of
the
it all?
Winston Churchill. Cleopatra is the Winston Churchill for women.
For women, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let's live this life.
So she would take the drug, and she referred to this as returning to the bright world, which is really beautiful, but it sounds like something like way more old timey than like the 60s.
Yeah.
It seems like, oh, host thou return to the bright world.
To the bright world.
So Marcia was taking ketamine daily for 18 months. Far longer. Daily. For 18 months. And this is long after Altunian stopped taking the medication, and they had written their book, Journeys into the Bright World, in 1978.
Was she, can you get addicted to Special K?
Yes.
Okay.
So Marcia was convinced that there was more to uncover and that she could go deeper and further if she just took more. And she believed that if her consciousness was raised high enough, that she could dematerialize, meaning her soul would move onto another plane and her body would just dissolve.
That's
Like
fucking
like
sad.
the Thanos snap.
I was gonna say like in WandaVision and Agatha all along.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were just like,
Like, there you go, Billy.
yeah.
That is literally the saddest shit. It's like that one.
Oh my God, that would be exactly, because then his consciousness moved into the, yeah, exactly that. I don't know if she'd go into the body of a dying boy, but
Right.
maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So that's kind of what she thought. So
Yeah.
her addiction was starting to create a rift in her family, because she would go on like to her family's like vacation on the island, like not like a tropical island, but like East Coast island,
Like the Hamptons or something.
like the Hamptons or something.
Montauk.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. So she would go and she'd like bring around all of her needles with her, like her little kit, and she would
Oh my
just
God,
like
'cause
shoot
it's a
up in
needle
front.
thing.
Yes, she would just shoot up in front of everyone. She never tried to hide it. She was just acting weird, and her family.
That thought.
Yeah, and her family was mortified,
Oh my God.
like mortified.
These poor kids. How old are her kids at this point? I wonder.
They must be older, but also I don't think that she kind of stuck around her kids. I think that she gave them like money and support, but didn't really.
Like let like other people raise them, sort of like
Maybe.
nannies.
I honestly could not find much about her kids.
Oh, they.
Well, there is a lot about one kid, but we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Juicy.
But not enough to tell you about childhood.
Okay.
So, on the morning of January 15th, 1979, Altunian called the authorities to report Marcia missing. And he claims that the night before she went to the movies, and then I looked because I was like, what would she even
What
be
movie
seeing?
was out? Was it like Jaws? What movie was like?
101 Dalmatians.
Oh, stop
Oh.
it!
that was
is a
number
good
one at the
one.
box office, and
Yeah.
nothing else felt like
Worthy
worthy.
of going.
So, but don't quote me on that. I don't know if she went and saw 101 Dalmatians.
I'm like, man, she was on a good one. No, I'm kidding.
But they were supposed to move to Ojai that night. Don't
She's gonna casually watch a movie before she moves somewhere.
to Ojai.
Yeah, like I'm not casually.
It's like a
doing
20-hour
anything.
drive
Yeah,
from Seattle.
that's right.
I feel like it's actually longer.
Yeah, it's really long. It's like a day and a half. trip.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think from here to like the bottomest part of Orc, I'm gonna make some shit.
Well,
up.
from here to Portland,
like
it's a
16
full
hours.
24
okay,
Dang.
yeah.
because it's
So then add 3 because Seattle to Portland is 3 hours. So 20. So yeah, a day and some
Yeah.
change.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. So that was their plan, I guess. So he says she goes to the movies, even though they're going to Ojai in like an hour or whatever. And she doesn't return. So he's like, I'm just going to give her some time. But she has been struggling with her mental health. And so he's like, I don't know. I just thought I'd give her time. But, you know, she was like manic depressive. She was suicidal. I don't know. So this felt like a very odd characterization to her friends who were like she was really excited to move to Ojai because she said it was, quote, the nexus of mystical forces.
Wow.
I feel like people still say stuff like
Yeah, it's like a very Ojai thing to say, I think.
Oh.
And so then she also wanted to start a reincarnation magazine once settled.
Wow.
It's so niche. The friends also mentioned that Marcia and Altunian's marriage was on the rocks. So
She was
Keep
trying
that in
to
mind.
just get out of there.
So he was appropriately devastated, and a huge search began to find 50-year-old Marcia, who at this point had been taking 100 milligrams of ketamine a day.
That is fucking crazy. He is like the literal reason why she's out on this.
Because he is also
He's
prescribing it to her.
Okay.
Because he's an anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So it seems if you are a rich white heiress who goes missing, all the manpower to find would help.
Stop. Yeah,
would help
the
you.
world would stop, and it would be a wild hunt for this person.
Yeah. But it seems that the spectacle of all of this, all the supernatural elements in the story started to work against them. So the sensationalized headlines drew a lot of unwanted attention on the Moore family, and they didn't want to be in the media because they're weird, ketamine.
Yeah.
Because everyone knew that she thought that she could be reincarnated, that she could be
Everybody felt like
dematerialized.
she went off the deep end.
Yeah, and so it was embarrassing. So they just kind of tried to downplay it. Also, psychics would call psychics in quotes, air quotes.
Okay.
Psychics would call the family members and regularly tell them that they found Marcia on the 4th plane of the 12th dimension and she can't get out.
Very specific.
Very specific.
Several psychics would say the same thing.
Yeah, which is weird.
That is fucking
really
weird.
But power of suggestion, if one person says it, then maybe someone else starts to believe it, and then they,
Yeah.
Anyway, this went on for 2 years. And in 1981, her remains were found just 3 miles from her home in a place that reportedly had already been searched, which was funny. Not funny, weird. Don't know why I said funny.
I'm like, ew.
Not funny. So it was not all of her remains. It was just part of her skull, and it was enough that they could compare dental records to confirm that it was indeed Marcia Moore. Sorry, Marcia.
Put some respect on her
My
name.
God, I know.
So wait, so she was dismembered?
I don't know.
Or it had been so long that was all they found.
I don't know. I remember Unsolved Mystery.
Yeah.
Unsolved.
So they found just part of the skull. Because Marcia was reported as missing and not dead, any investigation into what happened to her was basically hopeless because they never searched her and Altunian's home, and he was never investigated.
Oh my God, when the woman goes missing, it's usually going to be the husband.
Yeah. He had garnered a lot of suspicion because of his weird, bogus story
Right.
about why is she going to the movies and why, if she didn't show up, did you not call the police right away? And then his weird planting of she was suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was, she wasn't right. She was mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm. So he did, at first, he was grief-stricken at first, and he did...
That's why you said appropriately earlier, because I was like, as opposed to what?
I don't know. But but then he goes, my wife, I'm going to take a vow of celibacy until she returns reincarnated, which is also weird because wouldn't she be reincarnated as a baby?
Ew.
And then you're just gonna weed around. Anyway, so it didn't last long. He started dating almost immediately. Marcia's niece said, quote, I can recall my uncle, who was the executor of her estate, talking to my father and suspecting it was the husband who killed her. There was concern, but no rage. There wasn't enough passion to find the truth. Which is really sad.
I got stuck. It's executor.
Executor.
Sorry.
Look at you schooling me.
I know. I'm like,
Dickensian.
can we just remember this moment?
Executor
Thank
of
you
the
so
will.
much for being here because this never happens. This never
A real life
happens.
witness.
So right when you said, because
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to edit it
I
out.
envisioned
No, I'm not.
an executor of her estate, but it's an executor. Okay. Thank
The
you.
executor of her
Okay.
estate talked to... Okay, anyway, yeah, I said it wrong.
Edit it out.
Edit it out. I'm
Edit
leaving it
it
in.
out.
So even the lead detective suspected that Altunian had something to do with her death. Or, sorry, with her disappearance, but he didn't have any proof. So because so much time had passed, there was nothing.
Yeah,
he could
because
do about
everything
it.
that would have been able to be low hanging fruit to link him, just too much time had passed. It's
Yeah. So her cause of death remains undetermined, and it's currently unsolved.
I'm gonna go with
There are
decapitation since only a portion of her head is there.
There are some theories.
Go on.
Ooh.
So the first theory is foul play. when the skull was found, the top portion had a hole. But there's debate as to whether it was a gunshot or deterioration from exposure.
I'm going to go with gunshot or like...
There was also no bullets. There's also no bullets and no casings found near her body. However, I think that something did happen and then maybe an animal... Like maybe some, like
her skull.
like it got moved around,
Right.
So there wouldn't be casings
Right
or
there.
bullets nearby,
Or
anyway.
wherever it went down, that could have just been where she ended up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the foul play could have happened somewhere else
Yeah.
completely.
And then she could have been dumped. So
He probably hit over head in the living room with a candlestick.
So he is obviously a really big suspect. However, after her will was executed, he kind of had he kind of lost grace from the community because he wasn't like a rich, eclectic guy anymore.
No.
He just was a normal ass eclectic weirdo.
Yeah.
So he basically was run out of town and had to like move.
Ooh,
so
I like that
it
for
doesn't.
him.
It's not really any motivation for him though
To kill her.
to kill her because
It's
he was
not.
never in her will.
Did he know that?
I don't know.
Like, what if he thought this was going to happen differently? What if he was just tired of her shit and was like, I don't care anymore?
I will say though, if she's missing for however long, he still had access until she was dead.
He could have moved
So-
so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't make out with the money that Mark Douglas did.
Yeah.
So the other option or the other theory is
He needed to grift
suicide.
better.
Yeah, he needed to be a better grifter. He wasn't a professional. That's what it was.
Step it up.
He was a noob. So the other theory is suicide. Just as the hole in the top of the head could have been foul play, other people suggest it could have been suicide. But something that goes against that theory is that Marcia believed that suicide would lead to a worse life when reincarnated. And because she was like so big about reincarnation,
Right.
it doesn't quite add up. However, she was really high on ketamine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she could have just been like, well, I wonder what happens. What could happen?
Yeah.
There's only one way to find
Let's just
out.
speed up the process.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another theory, witches.
Usually.
So her brother, Robin Moore, he's an author of, the movie The French Connection?
No.
Oh, well, he
I only
wrote the
have heard of
book.
the store.
Oh,
The French Connection. Oh,
I like it.
I was not even thinking about that. No, it's like a kind of movie dad's like, I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
But anyway, he wrote the book about the French Connection and then it was turned into a movie. Anyway, so he claims that a year before she went missing, he received a letter offering condolences for the death of his sister. So he calls her and she's like, I'm alive, I'm fine. But she had been threatened by a cult and coven of witches. I don't know if the cult and the coven are the same or if they're a cult and also
A separate coven.
So, but he believes that because only her skull was found, her head was decapitated, and it was used in a satanic human sacrifice ritual. However, the people, what am I trying to say? The autopsy technician guy, the coroner.
The coroner. Elena would be so disappointed in you.
The coroner. I'm sorry. I'm on colonoscopy.
Yeah. You're on that page.
I'm
right?
on
You're on that pink drink.
drink. So he said that it's impossible to determine whether it was a clean cut or if it was just deterioration that led to the skull being detached from the rest of the body. So I don't know. The last theory, which is what I think I agree with, is misadventure / overdose.
Yeah.
Ketamine was affecting her mental state, so maybe she wandered off to be in nature one last time before the big move. And then she ODs or falls, and then it was a really cold night that night. So
Yeah.
she dies, lost and dies from exposure.
But 3 miles from their house? I'm fighting a sneeze.
Well, that's where she was found. It doesn't mean that that's where she actually died.
Yeah.
Because maybe, it's the Pacific Northwest. Maybe there's bears or Sasquatch. Oh my God. I don't know why that wasn't a theory.
Why wasn't that a theory to begin with?
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh. Solved it.
Yep.
No longer unsolved.
Like, let's go ahead and submit
Let's
this.
solve some mysteries.
Let's submit this shit.
So the other theory is dematerialization, is what Altunian says. He's like, she dematerialized.
No.
But
She
don't you
just-
think she would, if she came back reincarnated, don't you think that she would
By
Like,
now.
hey, guess what? It would
I'm
be like one of
back.
those, yeah,
Yeah.
No, because she's a grasshopper.
like
or
those kids
something.
that remember
They
their
can't
past
talk.
lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be... So in my mind, I'm like, you're right. We'll have to find out. But this was, 81? For sure would have had... Someone would have known.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she's just like floating around in that plane that
In the
they said.
ether.
She's in like that fourth
Whatever that
dimension.
plane one that- yeah.
That fourth
And she's like,
dimension
oh,
of-
shit.
yeah.
I
She
can't
hasn't
find the
attached
exit.
herself to a new.
I am
Yeah.
stuck.
She is stuck. Oh my God. All the
Another-
bulletins were right?
Yeah. Can I get
The
one
psychics
more
are right.
person to go tell them that I'm still stuck?
Tell him to help me.
Help.
So on November 4th, this is like an aside, but
Okay.
also related.
That was yesterday.
Oh, you're right. November 4th, 2010.
Okay.
Okay.
Not yesterday. A pair of hunters found a badly decomposed body in the woods in Maine. The man was estimated to be in his 50s, 5'9", 150 pounds. He was wearing all brand name clothes, a plaid button-down shirt, khakis, and sneakers. In his briefcase, there was no identification but juice and water bottles, a sweater, and a beanie that said Chris, like in bold letters across the front. And so without any ID and no missing persons report, for 10 years, he was known as the Shelbyville Doe. Then, in not 2012, 2021, I caught my mistake. In 2021, a woman named Sydney Kopp was listening to a podcast that was covering the case of the Shelbyville Doe.
Ooh.
And then she realized that she knew the identity of the man, her professor from college who had gone missing, Christopher Roof,
No.
a.k.a. Marcia Moore's son from her first marriage to
Oh my
Simon
gosh.
Roof. They got a positive ID for Christopher Roof. Apparently, he was like super brilliant, went into the woods to observe nature and follow in the footsteps of Thoreau, just like off and like write poetry and have like thoughts and stuff. But after that, everything is unknown. His cause of death is still undetermined. And
What?
yeah. And it's still an unsolved mystery.
I thought you were gonna say followed in the footsteps of his mom.
He dematerialized? Well, no, they
Well,
found
he's
his full
material.
body.
Yeah, but
Oh,
But isn't that
my
crazy?
God, that is crazy.
That his mom and him die in the same
In
like
the
weird
same-
ass way.
Uh-huh.
Why are people just walking into the woods?
This makes me think of a movie Aldridge and I just watched, and I can't figure out what it's called in this moment. But there was like this little part of the woods that was like a time warp. Oh, Cato Lake.
Oh, I haven't watched that. So
HBO
now I
Max.
just know that there's a time warp in the forest. Spoilers.
It's a good watch.
Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to watch it.
It's a good watch. It's okay.
Was it violent?
No.
Oh, I don't know then.
Yeah, it was whatever. It just reminded me of the things. It was one of those where I looked at Aldrich and I was like, that was cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the story of Marcia Moore.
Oh shit. We're still recording.
You forgot that we were recording, but
Yeah.
also that it was an unsolved mystery. Oh
Yeah,
wait, no,
yeah.
we did solve it.
It
was Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot. Yeah.
You obviously
And she's
solved it.
obviously still stuck
She's
in
in the
that.
plane.
She's in the
plane.
fourth dimension.
No, she's in the fourth
Plane.
plane of the 12th dimension.
That's what it was. Sorry.
That doesn't make sense
Get it
to
right.
me, but okay, what should we call this one?
It was Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot?
Don't get stuck in the 12th dimension or
It does feel like a Twilight Zone thing.
It does.
The fourth plane of the 12th dimension.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know who would explain it really good is Rod Serling. He would tell you
Mhm.
exactly what that is.
Don't go in the forest.
Yeah, stay out of the woods.
Stay out of the woods.
Stay out of the woods.
Specifically in the Pacific Northwest.
Especially if you're doing some special K.
Yeah.
Maybe that K ain't that special. Honestly, I didn't know that you injected it.
I know nothing about drugs.
I know nothing
Me
about
either.
drugs.
I thought that you I thought it was like
A pill.
oh yeah, that's what I
thought
thought
the
too.
Okay, I don't
I
know
feel like
why.
I saw a movie where someone's like special K and they have like a
I
bag
thought
of
it
pills.
was. I thought
is
it was
that?
powder. Like you would sprinkle it. Because in my head, this is how much you know. Like I'm just a 2 + 2 not knowing. But back in high school, what I thought would happen was people would eat mushroom tacos. Like get Jack in the Box tacos and put mushrooms in them. And then with Special K.
What?
Wow.
Wait, what? That's a real thing?
I think so. That's what I was told.
Like
psychedelic mushrooms?
Yeah, so
like
that they could trip in different ways.
what?
I don't know, but
That
also,
sounds like someone who wants to die.
you could have told me anything and I would have been like, whoa, and not checked it out because I was scared of something.
Why would someone do that? That's insane.
I don't know. People.
I don't know. I think everything's
Outside fool.
insane. Okay, so
Okay.
we are signing off. Hopefully, if you hear this, things went well today.
Oh,
If not, we might need to take off a week for.
That's back to reality. I forgot again.
Oop, there goes gravity.
Spaghetti. Stupid.
All right. Well, I guess.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.